What's up, guys? Welcome back. This is Devon456 with another Let's Build on Spectical Island. Now, as you can see, I've done a bit more work flattening out this area. I'm going to build over here more later on, but for now, I just want to take you around and look at what I've done. I added this little porch area to this house, fixed that up a bit, started working on a path down here, and over here is some stuff that I got with mods, and this is what we're going to be building. It's a power plant, and I wanted to try and use some of the Homemaker stuff along with some of these DD production mods that I have installed to make this place look nice. So let's get started. Now, to start off, I wanted to put these walls in. I just wanted to try and use normal walls and see how that works. So here you'll see me just trying to snap this wall in, but it doesn't work, so I need to try and change up the build order a bit. So I go back in to try and add this little sack foundation, but no matter how I spun it, it didn't work from that way, so I changed the perspective and there it goes. It tries to snap in. It got it to work, but then I realized that didn't look good. So I went back into the Homemaker section and grabbed the door from that area, and it snapped right in. So I decided, why not just make the whole floor out of the Homemaker shack walls. Now, I really like how the pier walls look from the outside, but the inside kind of doesn't really do it much for me. But I decided at the time just to go with it since it'll look alright from the outside, and this isn't really an area that many people are going to really be in when it comes to in-game wise. And there's not very many variations on these walls. You only have like 4 or 5 different wall sections. So then I went to go and put the second floor in, which I realized at this point that the floors from the normal little section won't snap to the Homemaker floors and walls. No matter how much I spun it or anything, or I tried to snap it to already placed things, it wasn't working. I thought maybe about me doing it with all Homemaker, but I haven't really tested out Homemaker enough, so I decided to just bring the whole thing down, just tear it all down. At this point, I decided I was going to put that door back in, but I was going to use a normal door, outside door. And at this point, I remembered that I had just installed a mod that gives all the bridges and stuff snap nodes, so I wanted to use that. So I tried just working with that. A couple of the bridges didn't seem to snap where I wanted them to, but I decided on using the plank bridge just to see how that worked, and it turned out pretty nice. I ended up having to move the path over a bit because the bridges didn't quite fit in, but afterwards it sort of worked out a little better. I liked how it looked better. If you notice, the ground is a bit different. I added a couple of mods. Also, I realized that the bridges aren't all the same length. It's weird. I don't know why, but yeah, I had to roll with it. So I just had to rebuild the whole bridge. It wasn't too big of a hassle. It only took me like a couple of seconds, maybe a minute or so. After that, it was mostly just decorating it. I noticed that they had also added these balcony nodes to the sides of the bridge so you could snap walls and stuff. So I decided I would just line the bridge up with walls and try to stick them in a random order. I noticed that those walls weren't fitting there, so I decided to deal with that later. Sometimes these walls like to be finicky. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I figured it out eventually, and It looks real good now. With that, I've thought, hey, maybe I can put a little balcony on the front, like a little porch area. But most of the 1x1 blocks weren't really fitting. I could have just taken up the whole bridge and moved it up one block, but I felt like too much of a hassle at the time, so I decided to make those into some turret outposts. I tried to snap some more walls to them, but it didn't really work out. So yeah, I ended up just popping some turrets down. Now, I've been trying to figure out how to make my buildings even more, nice looking, but at the same time be a bit junky. And I think I've sort of gotten it down now since I've been practicing. Like, after each video I just sit on and build for like 30 or so minutes afterwards, just because I might do a walkthrough of one of my other settlements that I've built up that's pretty nice. But at this point I'm just gonna take down the rest of these walls and just build up around it using the junk walls and stuff. It's gonna end up looking real nice, and I feel like this is a better option than going with what I was originally planning. So I decided to make all the floors go the same way, just because I hadn't done that before. I wanted to try it. And I noticed some of these walls had very similar texture to the floors, so I decided in the end to just not deal with it. Another quick tip. Some of these walls look just as interesting going one way as they do the other. So like if you want to vary the look of your walls without having to repeat the same walls over and over again, you can just flip a wall around and it'll change up the look just enough to where you can have two walls next to each other that look the same, but that look different but are the same. At this point I wanted to make some windows, since I really wanted to have some windows in this build, so I just took some door frames and placed a little veiling there. It was tedious trying to get everything to line up and not look like it has any gaps or anything. So after I fiddled with that for a little minute, I decided to go back in and work on the rest of the wall and get to the second floor. I think it's here when I decided to start flipping the walls around, or maybe that was on the second floor. I can't remember. But I think it was a good idea. I ended up liking that a little better than, just having the same wall on one side of the room and on another side of the room. It changes it up just enough to where you can tell it's different, but at the same time it looks good from the inside and out. I feel like since the DD Productions spiral staircase doesn't really have any nav meshes, it won't be really a good option for the staircase back there, so I feel like I'm probably gonna change that up. Maybe add a ladder or something like that, one of the other staircases there. There's a couple of these floorboards that didn't really want to go where I wanted them to, but I ended up getting them there. At this point I wanted to add in some of the generators. I decided I wanted to use the big ones, but I thought I would use these blue ones that you see all over the Commonwealth, I guess. And since that feels like something, you can go out and find these and just drag them back home, fix them up, Well, it's not going to be entirely lore friendly how I build these places, but I like it to look scrappy, but some of the things, like that fusion generator sitting in the middle of the room. I'm pretty sure no one's going to make that out of some wood, nuclear material, and whatnot. So there's a little trick that I use in this video with power lines and getting them to go through walls, and that was something that I've actually found watching another YouTuber. I do have some power mods involved, as you saw with the generators and the additional pylon, because we shouldn't really need to construct a whole bunch of additional pylons. I decided I'll use that later because it is really useful. I mean, like, extremely. I hate having pylons all over the settlement, and having the little connectors everywhere just doesn't really look good to me. I would rather have a whole bunch of, you know, pylons just out and about, and not have to, you know, worry about where the power is. I want it to look good, but have the power go where it needs to go. Because if it just does what it wants, it's not gonna really look practical. I mean, so at this point I decided I was going to, you know, add some more power connections in here. This whole floor is going to be filled with power generators, and I needed to connect those. It wasn't really snapping onto the wall properly from that angle, so I decided to just connect it there, connect it to the wall, and just snap it there. At this point I used a wire glitch where if you look at the wire, or you have it highlighted, but then you slightly angle it so that you're looking at the connector, and click on the connector, and it'll produce a wire that will go through the floors and stuff, as you can see there. And what I like to do is then take that wire and then move it so that the connector is directly above where it's connected to, so that you can't see the wire clipping through the ground. You just see the wire going up through the ceiling, and then you see a wire on the, you don't have to see the wire there. So I ended up having to flip that one down so that it'll connect better. And with that, I connected those power sources. You might be wondering why I need so much power. Well, most of it's going to go power my super awesome mansion that I'm going to build at the top of the hill. Yeah. I mean, who cares about realism when you can have a super clean, nice, awesome mansion to look down on your meager little peasants as they go about their daily lives, and you just sit there, sip your orange juice, and just think, yeah, I built this. I built this city. But not on rock and roll. No, I built it on jazz and hip-hop. So at this time, I just decided to, you know, just flip some walls, throw a fit with some of the things not snapping how I wanted them to snap. And in the end, it got done, and that's all that matters. I mean, everything can't be perfect, can it? So yeah, everything turned out pretty nice. I wanted to add some, you know, little railings and make this place secure, because if you didn't know, that little fusion reactor right there will explode and kill everything. It's extremely delicate. It only takes like 2 or 3 shots to blow the thing, and I don't want a stray bullet to, you know, kill everyone in my settlement. As much as I don't particularly care for the people in this game, I do care that the stuff that I build works properly, and if someone blows up my fusion reactor and destroys everything, that's not gonna really be conducive to me having a good time. I thought I cut this. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that happens, especially when you're building over water and building up high, you fall. That's just part of it. Just walk the same back, and you put your piece where it goes. And or if you're feeling extra frustrated like I have been sometimes, especially building on the castle, I would just no-clip my way back up. See, this little room is probably going to be where whoever keeps this place running is going to stay. I'll probably assign someone to the bed in here and they'll end up doing it. I like using the flat ceilings because it's really easy to put stuff on top of them like floors and whatnot. So I just decided to just plop a bunch of these on. I was gonna plop the solar panels from the same mod as the fusion reactor by DD Productions and if you're not building with DD Productions, I don't know what you're building with, because that guy can make some mods, man. Like, I wish I could make mods, but I'm not patient or creative enough to do it. Like, I can think of the ideas, but when it comes to programming, modeling, all that jazz, nah. I stick to what I'm good at, that's building, and laughing at other things that people build that doesn't look right. Like, how are you gonna have a building that's floating like 10 feet off the ground and you only have like 2 support pillars? That's like defies physics. I'm really big on physics because if you didn't know, I'm an engineer. Well, I'm studying to be an engineer, but that's beside the point. So when I think about things, I think about physics. Like, you can't just have a bunch of things just sitting on top of a couple of pillars and think, yeah, that was important. So that's why I like some of DD Productions mods, because he adds stuff that fixes that. So right now I'm just flipping these, solar panels around so that they face the sun, so that, when the sun's out, they get the solar energy. Because I realized that the way that I was facing them before wasn't really pointing towards the direction that the sun is going to be in the sky during the most parts of the day. So yeah. I decided that, since that wasn't going to work, even if I tried to spin to win, I was just going to connect them and work with that. So I ended up connecting. I don't know if I connected all of them together. I don't really need all of them to be connected together, but for the sake of realism, I want them to be connected all together. Because why would you have a bunch of why would you have a bunch of them connected like that? You get a quick glimpse of my character there. Whoops. Now on the inside, I kind of wanted to just string this up through the ceiling, but that wasn't going to fly. So I decided I would just bring it to one of the walls. So we just plop it there, move this over a bit, make it look believable. And then plop it in power switch, because you never know when you want to turn off all power to this settlement. I mean, what if they have some kind of issue? What if they don't pay their bills on time? What am I supposed to do then? Not turn their power and water off? Because they're both connected to the same thing, because I have the animated water thing from DD Productions. Yeah, I'll turn their power and water off, because if they're not gonna pay their bills, then they need it. And that's it. So I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, leave a like down below. A list of the mods are in the description, and hey, why don't you subscribe? I mean, I'm not saying that you should or shouldn't, but it would be really helpful if you did. So, have a nice day. Peace.